7.5 per presentation, a 7 for graphics, which by the way says boobs, boobs, and more boobs. Wow. Yeah. No, we have to start from the top. Hang on.
Speaking of retro gaming prices, this is a viral tweet this past week with almost 80 million views over on X. I don't know if you saw this being passed around, but the guy game for Xbox was going for $250. This is at I think it was at Too Many Games up in Philadelphia. Okay, so here's the preface of this. And the reason why I see all this Dr. Disrespect stuff over here. So I've seen this game, and it actually had a full playthrough on YouTube for a while. But the guy game was exactly what it sounds like. You know, when you think of the old Man Show of like the girls jumping on trampolines and stuff,
jiggle physics and stuff.
Well, except what happened was there was a guy who'd go up and he'd interview these girls, and I think like if my memory escapes me, but I think it was like if they got the question wrong, they had to take off their top or something like that, right? And look at Vlad, like, oh. So, but here's the thing: that game had a minor in it, a 17-year-old minor in it.
Oh no!
So apparently, at Too Many Games, they had like.
Oh no! They didn't like play it on a screen or something, did they?
No, but the person selling this game. Apparently, cops showed up, and because that is technically selling child porn, right?
Oh, so, wasn't there like an action movie actress chick who had been in porn, and she had been a minor, like back in the day? And there was some legal precedent set forth where, like, if enough time has elapsed and they lied about it or something. Who was that? It was like a big news story back in like the 80s or 90s or something. You remember what I'm talking about?
Vaguely.
I felt like there was a legal precedent where it's like, okay, after a certain amount of time, the cops don't show up to your house or something like that.
Right. I don't recall. But
chat is saying Tracy Lords.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I thought that something like that happened. I can't remember.
You know, oh my gosh, this is actually hilarious. Speaking of the guy game, let's go back and look at what IGN had to say about this when this game was released for the PlayStation 2. Okay, and tell me if they would ever release a review like this again. IGN gave the guy game for the PlayStation 2 a 7.7 out of 10. Here are the Blabs. Why don't you give us IGN's ratings here if you want to go down the list?
7.5 per presentation, a 7 for graphics, which by the way says boobs, boobs, and more boobs. Wow. Yeah. No, we have to start from the top. Hang on. 7.5 for presentation, simple, easy rules and explanations, plus boobs. 7 for graphics, boobs, boobs, and more boobs. I mean, what else matters when there are at least 120 plus boobs here? Wow. 7 for sound. Boobs, boobs, and more boobs. Do you hear me? Who cares what it sounds like? 7.5 for gameplay. So once you unlock the boobs and you see the cheerleader boobs, you'll get the chance to see more boobs. Boobs! And 7.5 for lasting appeal. The single-player campaign has 1,000 alternative questions for sloppy seconds.
Yeah.
But it should last best as a multiplayer game. Boobs! Boobs! Overall, 7.7. Good.
Yeah.
Out of 10, not an average.
I don't know. Seems like they had some minor issues with it, though. I don't
Yeah, this is wild.
All right.
Oh,
I feel like
funny.
they would refuse to rate it today. They'd be like, we can't touch this. Preposterous.
I 100% agree. 100%.
That is considering who we're going to talk about and who they used to work for. That's an interesting review.
Yes, absolutely. I would also like to remind everybody that what was it? 7.8 out of 10 was I think it was a Pokemon game. For too much water. IGN gave a Pokemon game 7.8 out of 10 for having too much water. They gave the guy game 7.7 out of 10.
Well, don't forget they also rated that Resident Evil game, and now they're like, oh, it's racism. So IGN is fun.